Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, doctor.
Can you hear me? Can you see the slide sharing?
We
Yes, we
can
can.
hear you, but
You
there
can
is
see
no
the slide.
slides.
Okay, it is written here lipid chemistry. Can you share? Can you hear? Can you hear me? Okay. Yes, I think I should start now. Around how many participants? 52. Yeah, can you hear me? No problem.
Yes, doctor.
Can you see the slide?
Not yet.
Okay, fine. So come about the chemistry of lipid now. Okay, so I completed already carbohydrate. I completed protein. Now come about lipid chemistry. So lipid, I think you heard about this terminology before. It is nothing but a fat. Huh? What we are taking telling it generally, it is fat. So, whatever the oils or butter we are eating, so that is fat. So, in this particular chapter, we will know what are the what are the meaning of lipid, what is the overviews, then what is the classification of lipid, then what are the different varieties of lipid, what are the different structures of lipid function, and what are the composition of cell membrane. So these things we will know in this particular chapter. So come one by one then. So first come about overviews. So what is the meaning of lipid? So lipid, they are defined as organic substance. They are organic in nature. Okay, it is not an inorganic. It is organic in nature, and it is they are insoluble in water. Lipids, they are insoluble in water. You know, if you just try to just mix a butter with the water, you cannot do it because they are insoluble in water, but they are soluble in organic solvent like alcohol, ether. Okay, and it is actually and potentially related to fatty acid. So look, last day I told about protein chemistry, if you remember.
Doctor,
Yeah.
we can't see the slides.
You can't see the slide?
No, we only see
The
Zoom.
website.
The
Okay,
website. The website Zoom only.
one minute, 1 minute. Now you can see?
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Now you can see? No problem?
Yes.
Okay. No problem. No. Fine. Now, it is. I'm talking about. It is just a first slide. Okay, I'm talking about overviews of lipid. So they are organic substance, and they are insoluble in water, soluble in organic solvent, and they are related to fatty acid. Fatty acid is one of a component of a lipid. Okay, so fatty acid is not an unit of a lipid. It is just a component of a lipid, and obviously it is found in a living system. So they are the overviews, and you are getting a lot of important points here. Now come about classification of lipids. So how the total lipid kingdoms are classified. So first one, it is broadly into four varieties. So out of that, first one is simple lipid. So by the name only you are getting the idea. It is a simple in structure. Okay, it is a simple lipid, and it is a combination of fatty acid with alcohol. When fatty acid combined with the alcohol, so this is actually you are getting a ester. So ester of fatty acid with alcohol. So when the fatty acid, I will come later what is the meaning of fatty acid. So fatty acid that will join with the alcohol molecule, you are getting a simple lipid. Now simple lipid again of two variety, fat and oil. Simple fats and oil, whatever we are consuming daily, okay, they are usually oils are usually liquid in a normal room temperature. So they are fatty acid with a glycerol. So this alcohol part, that is a glycerol molecule. Okay, so glycerol is a type of alcohol, organic alcohol, and here fatty acid is a glycerol. Okay, fatty acid they joined with the glycerol molecule. Then waxes. So you may heard about wax. This wax like a candlesticks. Huh? So there fatty acid with the alcohol, but this alcohol is not a glycerol. It is other than glycerols. Okay, so it is also ester of fatty acid with alcohol, but this alcohol is not a glycerol molecule. They are other than glycerol. Okay. So what I am talking about, I am talking about the simple lipid. So simple lipid, they are a combination of fatty acid with alcohol. And then when this alcohol part is a glycerol, you are getting a fat and oil. When this alcohol part is not a glycerol, other varieties of alcohol, you are getting this waxes. Okay. Am I clear? Simple lipid. Am I clear? Anybody?
Yes,
Yes,
clear.
doctor, clear.
Okay. Now come to complex lipid. So complex lipid here, what is happening? Here the simple lipid are joining with a non-lipid substance. You are getting a complex lipid. Okay. So simple lipid, they are joining some additional group like phosphate. It can join with the nitrogen base. It can join with the carbohydrate. It can join with the protein molecule. So here fatty acids are joining with a means a simple lipid. They are joining with a non-lipid substance. Okay, so you are getting the complex lipid. Now have a look what are different example of complex lipid. Like phospholipids. So by the names only you are getting some idea. Lipid, it contains phosphorus. Okay. So phosphorus, it is a non-lipid substance. So lipid, it is joining with a non-lipid substance. So you are getting phospholipid. So here the lipid, then phosphoric acid, it contains actually phosphorus. And with that, some nitrogen containing bases are adding. So you are getting phospholipid. So it is a type of complex lipid. Now come to the next one. So glycolipid. So what is the meaning of glycolipid here? Here you can see lipid, they are adding with a carbohydrate. So lipid, they are adding with the carbohydrate molecule. So you are getting glycolipid. Lipid, they are adding a protein. When you are adding a protein molecules with the lipid, you are getting lipoprotein. So all are example of complex lipid. And by the definition, what is the meaning of complex lipid? When simple lipid, they are joining with a non-lipid substance. Okay, you are getting a complex lipid. Am I clear up to here? Fine.
Clear,
Now
doctor.
come about derived lipids. So what is the meaning of derived lipids? So they are the derivation that is coming from either from simple lipid or complex lipid. So from a simple lipid or complex lipid, when you are making breaking of that particular thing, whatever you are getting, that is called as a derived lipid. And the derived lipid that should show the character of a lipid. Okay. After breaking of a simple lipid or complex lipid, you are getting something and that should show the character of a lipid. Then only you can tell it is a derived lipid. Okay. So this is a derivation of either of a simple lipid or a complex lipid. Okay, the fourth variety, it is a neutral lipid. So neutral lipid, by the names only, you are getting your idea. So it is nothing, either a positive charge or negative charge. Okay, so they are uncharged in character. So it is either positive charge, neither negative charge. So it is uncharged in character. So that is called as a neutral lipid. Okay, now come about fatty acid. So I told fatty acid, it is a component of a simple lipid. Okay, so fatty acid that will join with the alcohol, you are getting a simple lipid. Now, what is the meaning of fatty acid? So by the definition, they are all carboxylic acid with a hydrocarbon side chain. So basically, they contain a carboxyl group here. So you can see this is a carboxyl group. So that's why it is a carboxylic acid. And with the carboxyl group, there's the addition of hydrocarbon chain. This is a hydrocarbon chain. You know the hydrocarbon, no? So a lot of carbons molecules are joining together one by one by one. You are getting a hydrocarbon chain. Okay. So by the definition, the fatty acid, they are carboxylic acid because it contained a carboxyl group, and with the carboxyl group, there's the addition of hydrocarbon chain. They are the hydrocarbon chain. Okay, am I clear? Am I clear, everybody? So
Yes,
okay, so
doctor.
have a look.
Yes,
Have a
clear.
look the diagrams. Then it will be more clear now. Look, this is the structure of fatty acid, and this is a hydrocarbon chain. Okay, each and every corner there is a carbon atom. Each and every corner presence of carbon atom. I think you know these things in the chemistry. You heard this one. It is a hydrocarbon chain. And with the hydrocarbon chain, there is the additions of carboxyl group. This is a carboxyl groups. Okay, addition of carboxyl group, and you are getting the whole structure. You are getting a fatty acid. This is a fatty acid. Now this fatty acid, you can see in this particular structure, you are not getting double bond. So this is also a fatty acid, but you are getting some double bonds here. So according to the presence of double bond, okay, in the hydrocarbon chain, this fatty acid, it either can be saturated or unsaturated. Two type of fatty acid, saturated fatty acid and unsaturated fatty acids. Okay. So here you can see in case of saturated fatty acid, there are no double bonds here in this particular hydrocarbon chain. But in case of unsaturated fatty acid, there are presence of some double bonds. Okay, so have a look at the previous slide. Yes, so saturated and unsaturated. So what is saturated? They don't contain any double bond. Saturated fatty acid, they don't contain any double bond inside their structure. Unsaturated, they contain either one or more than one double bonds. Okay. When the number of double bond is one, that is called as a mono unsaturated fatty acid. When it is more than one, that is called as a polyunsaturated fatty acids. Am I clear? So,
Can you repeat this, Doctor?
pardon? Is it okay?
Can you repeat it?
Look, saturated and unsaturated. According to the presence of double bond in that particular hydrocarbon chain. Okay. In case of saturated, no double bond. No double bond. In case of unsaturated, maybe one or more than one double bond. When the number of double bond is one, that is called as a mono unsaturated. Mono means one. Okay. When the number of double bonds is more than one, that is called as a polyunsaturated fatty acid. Am I clear? So,
Yes, Doctor. Thank you.
So this
Yes.
is saturated or unsaturated? It is saturated or unsaturated? This one? Somebody can tell?
Saturated.
Saturated. Because you are not getting any double bond in this particular hydrocarbon chain. Okay. This is saturated or unsaturated? This one?
Both.
Unsaturated. It is a mono or poly?
Poly.
Poly. Very good. Because you can see there's a multiple double bonds here. Okay.
Doctor, sorry.
Yes.
How did you find the difference?
By the see the structure, you find the difference. Your structure is in front of you. By seeing the structure, you can tell there is no double bond. So this is saturated. The presence of double bond. So this is unsaturated.
So the reason is the double bond.
Only double bond. The reason is only the double bond. According to the presence of double bond, yes or no, it is saturated or unsaturated. Am I clear?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay. Now come about numbering of carbon atom. Look, this is a hydrocarbon chain. I just put example here. This is you can see multiple carbons are joined one by one, and rest of the bonds that is hydrogen, obviously. So this is carbon. This is hydrocarbon chain, and at the one end you are getting a carboxyl group. This is carboxyl groups. Okay. Now how to number this fatty acid chain? There is a two way of numbering. Simply, you can number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 digital. Okay, or you can number as a omega variety. This is a modern nomenclature. This carbon atom, the first carbon atom here. Okay, this is a methyl group. This methyl group carbon atom is called as an omega 1 carbon atom. Understand? The second carbon atom after the methyl group, it is a omega 2 carbon atom. This is omega 3, omega 4, like that. Am I clear? So have a look this particular structure again. So at the end, just follow my pointer. This is a methyl group presence here. At the end, methyl. Is it not? Yes or no? At
Yes,
the end,
so
this is a hydrocarbon chain. So this is a hydrocarbon chain here. Okay. Then you are getting a carboxyl group. So you are getting a carboxyl group. So the first here, this is the methyl group, this one. So this carbon atom is a omega 1. Then after that, you are getting this all angle. There are carbon atoms. So this is number 2. Number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that. Okay, so it is the omega 1, omega 2, omega 3, omega 4 carbon, omega 5 carbon, omega 6 carbon, omega 7, omega 8, omega 9, omega 10, omega 11. In this way, you have to nomenclate. Am I clear? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
clear.
doctor.
Yes.
Now, this is the things I told, whatever. So if you just give a simple nomenclature, like a digital nomenclature, simple by 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, then it is starting from here, the carboxyl carbon, this is starting from here. If you give a omega nomenclature, then it should start from the methyl group. Okay, just the opposite direction. Now this 1, 2, 3, 4 variety is little bit obsolete, it is not using nowadays, but this omega variety, this has some importance. Now you can tell me, doctor, then why to number the carbon atom? What are the use of this particular numbering? Yeah, this omega variety, by this omega variety, you can nomenclate a fatty acid. You can name a fatty acid. Just I am giving example here. Just have a look this structure again. So what I told, it is omega 1. This is omega 2. This is omega 3, omega 4. So the double bond between omega 3 and omega 4. Understand? So this is omega 3 and omega 4. Remember, so here the double bond between omega 3 carbon atom, omega 4 carbon atom. Then omega 5, omega 6, omega 7. So the double bond between omega 6 and omega 7. Then omega 8, omega 9, omega 10. So the double bond between omega 9 and omega 10. So what I told, the double bond is present between 3 and 4, here between 6 and 7, and here between 9 and 10. That's why this fatty acid is called as a omega 3 omega-6, omega-9 fatty acid. Am I clear? So this fatty acid is now called as a omega-3, omega-6, omega-9 fatty acid. Suppose just forget about this double bond. Suppose there are no double bond here. Only double bonds are present here. Suppose. Then this fatty acid is called as an omega-3 fatty acid. Suppose the double bond between number 5 and number 6 carbon atom. Then that fatty acid is called as a omega-5 fatty acid. Am I clear?
Yes, Doctor.
So by the position of the double bond, where the double bonds are present, between which omega carbon the double bonds are present, by the position of the double bond, you can nomenclate a fatty acid. You can give a name of a fatty acid. Okay, that's why this numbering is important. Okay,
Doctor, I have
so
a question.
yes.
How can I name the fatty acid if it's saturated?
Oh, you are asking very basic question now. Saturated, no double bond. No
Yes,
double bond is saturated. Presence of double bond is unsaturated. Only one double bond is the monounsaturated. More than one double bond is a polyunsaturated.
No, my question, how can I name? You said I use the omega to name the double bond.
Yeah.
How can I name the saturated fatty acid? There is no
Same. It is also here omega-1, omega-2, omega-3, omega-4, omega-5. But saturated fatty acid, you cannot name as a omega variety. Omega variety, it is a good question actually. Omega variety only due to only you can nomenclate unsaturated fatty acid, not saturated fatty acid.
Okay.
Okay, saturated fatty acid has a different type of nomenclature. But by the name, by using the omega sign, you can only nomenclate the unsaturated fatty acid, not the saturated. Okay. So it is a good question actually. I not understand your question. It is a good question. You asked a good question. So by the omega this nomenclature, you cannot nomenclate a saturated fatty acid. It is only for unsaturated fatty acid. Okay. Fine. So I think up to here is clear, everybody? Everybody clear?
Yes.
Fine. Now come to the next one. Then essential fatty acid. Okay, essential fatty acid. I told you about that essential amino acid that last day. So what are the meaning? What is the meaning of essential amino acid? So what is the meaning of essential amino acid? Can somebody tell me?
Essential amino acid, body that cannot be synthesize.
It cannot synthesize inside your body, but it is needed. That's why you have to take by food. Okay, that is essential. Same thing here, fatty acids. So they cannot be synthesized by the body and therefore should be taken, should be supplied in diet, in food. Okay, and they are called as an essential fatty acid. And chemically, all essential fatty acids are polyunsaturated in nature. They have a multiple double bond in their hydrocarbon chain. Okay, so this is about the essential fatty acid. Now, what are the example? 3 varieties are there: linoleic, linolenic, and arachidonic. So linoleic and linolenic are it is a purely essential fatty acid. Arachidonic, sometimes it is acting as an essential fatty acids. Okay, so these are 3 are example here. Now suppose somebody has a deficiency of essential fatty acid, then you are getting a condition that is called pyrenoderma or toad skins. Okay, so pyrenoderma or toad skin, this is due to the deficiency of essential fatty acid. And here some features you are getting, like the skins are very rough and tough, particularly the posterior and lateral part of the body. Skins are very tough, very rough. Okay, some eruption can be happened in the skin. Then some Losing of hair can be happened when there are deficiency of EFA or essential fatty acid, and some poor wound healing that can also happen due to a deficiency of essential fatty acid. So here basically you should know what are the example here and what is the meaning of essential fatty acid. So this particular thing you should know from this slide. Fine. Now come about the TG. What is the meaning of TG or
Doctor?
triacyl? Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes,
can you
somebody?
repeat the yes, the deficiency of AFA?
Yeah,
Point number one.
Yes, some eruption, some skins are getting eruption. Okay, some eruption, some like a blister. That is happening in the skin, in the posterior and lateral part of the skin. Okay, and losing of hair can be happened, and poor wound healing can be happened. So this can be happened due to a deficiency of EFA or essential fatty acids. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so now come about TG. What is the meaning of TG or triacyl glycerol? So triacyl glycerol, it is a simple lipid variety. So basically, they are the combination of glycerol with fatty acid. Okay. So glycerols and fatty acid, they are joining together, make a TG or triacyl glycerols. So have a look this 1 minute. So have a look this picture again. So one glycerols and one fatty acid. Suppose. Okay, so have a look this picture. So this is a molecules of a triacyl glycerol, or it is called as a triglyceride. So you can see this is a molecules of glycerol. And this one molecules of glycerols are now joining with 3 molecules of fatty acids here. And you are getting a molecules of triacyl glycerol. Okay, one glycerol with 3 molecules of fatty acid. So it is a simple lipid or complex lipid. So can somebody tell me? This is a simple lipid or complex lipid?
Complex lipid.
How it will be complex lipid? It is a combination of fatty acid with alcohol. Glycerol is a type of alcohol.
All right, simple.
So simple lipid. By the definition, it is a simple lipid. Yes or no? Because
Yes.
what is the definition of simple lipid? Simple lipid is a combination of fatty acid and glycerol. So it is a type of simple lipid. Now suppose one fatty acid you are removing from here, it is now converting into diacyl glycerol. So one glycerols and 2 fatty acids. Another fatty acids you are removing, it is converting into monoacyl glycerol. Okay, so all are examples of simple lipid. Okay. Now it is insoluble in water and it is non-polar in character. The TG, they are insoluble, obviously, because it is a fat. Whatever we are taking, we are taking fat daily, like oil, like butter. They are all maximum portion of that fat contains this particular TG. Okay, triacyl glycerol. And they are insoluble in water and non-polar. They don't have any charge in their molecule. You can see there is no positive or negative charge. They are non-polar. And the plant origin TG, they are better than the animal origin TG because the plant origin TG, they contain more unsaturated fatty acid inside their structure. Okay. So unsaturated fatty acid, they are better. I am not telling good. They are better than saturated fatty acid. Yeah. Now, they are commonly called as a neutral fat because they don't have any charge, neither negative or positive. And in our body also, we have a lot of TG where it is situated in adipocyte, or you know adipocyte, it is a fat tissue or fat cell. Okay. In there, you are getting, there's a lot of accumulations of TG. inside our body. Just below the skin, we are getting the maximum amount. Okay, so I think this part is clear, everybody. So what is the meaning of TG and how it will be formed? So it is a combination of glycerols and fatty acid, and this is a TG molecule. One fatty acids are removed, converting into diacyl glycerol. Another fatty acids are removed, converting into monoacyl glycerol. Fine. Now come about the next molecule, that is phospholipids. So what is phospholipid? It is a simple
دكتور
Doctor, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you,
Okay.
but we can't
Look,
see the slides.
yeah, net connection lost. It is the problem of this building. I am again sharing the slide. Okay. Connection lost, net connection lost. Can you see the slide now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, phospholipid. I don't know what is the problem of this building. Sometimes it is happening nowadays. Suddenly connection lost and again come. Okay, so come to phospholipids. So phospholipid, basically they are complex in variety because they are combination of simple lipid, and over the simple lipid you are adding phosphate. Okay, so you are getting phospholipid. Now there are two varieties of phospholipid. One is glycerophospholipid, and here the alcohol part is a glycerol, because you know phospholipid, it is a combination of fatty acid, alcohol. This make a simple lipid, and with this one you are adding phosphoric acid. This phosphoric acid contain phosphorus, and you are adding some nitrogen containing bases. Okay, so this is phospholipid. So when the alcohol part here, this alcohol part is a glycerol, that is called as a glycerophospholipid. Sorry. When the alcohol part here is a sphingosine, this is also a type of alcohol. You are getting sphingophospholipid. Okay, so two varieties of phospholipid, glycero and sphingo. Now, this glycerophospholipid you are mainly getting in cell membrane or biological membrane here. And so cell membrane contain a lot of glycerophospholipid. Now have a look here. What are the example of phospholipid? Okay, like kephalin. This is a varieties of phospholipid of phosphatidyl ethanolamine. That is, the nickname is kephalin. Okay. So phosphatidyl serine, it is a type of phospholipid. Phosphatidylcholine, or the nickname here is the lecithin. It is a type of phospholipid. Now, how it will be formed for understanding this one? Now come this one first, the phosphatidic acid or PA. You can see here, I wrote here PA. Okay. So what are the meaning of PA? It is nothing but a phosphatidic acid. The short form is PA. By the definition, this PA is the simplest form of phospholipid. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. So this PA is a simple form of phospholipid. Now have a look at the diagram to make understand what is this PA. Come on here. This is the orange color here. These are what? They are fatty acid. Okay, the orange color. With the fatty acid, you are adding, this is a molecules of glycerol. So fatty acid and glycerol. So when fatty acid joined with the glycerol, what is this whole molecule? Can somebody tell me? It is a simple lipid, yes or no? Fatty
Yes.
acid
Compound.
with glycerol. So this is a simple lipid. Okay. With a simple lipid now, you are adding a phosphate. Okay. And now the simple lipid after addition of phosphate is converting into phospholipid. Okay. So you are getting a molecules of phosphatidic acid, and this is nothing but a simplest form of a phospholipid. Now over this PA, now come to this example, over this PA, you are adding some other group here, ethanolamine. You are getting another molecules of phospholipid, but this is little bit of complex variety of phospholipid, cephalin. Over the PA, you are adding a serine, you are getting phosphatidyl serine. This is a complex type of phospholipid. Over the PA, now you are adding a choline. You are getting phosphatidyl choline or lecithin nickname. So this is a complex variety of phospholipid. Okay. So if somebody asks you what are the example of phospholipid, you can tell the simplest one is a PA. This is the simplest variety of phospholipid. And these all are complex variety of phospholipid. Okay, like a cephalin, like a phosphatidyl serine, like a phosphatidyl choline, all of the complex variety of phospholipids. Okay. Now have a look how these particular cephalins are formed. So come to the next slide. It will be more clear to you. Look, cephalin. This is a molecules of cephalin, and it is mainly present in cell membrane. You know the biological membrane, our cell membrane. I don't know you know it in the biology or not. That is a lipid bilayer. The cell membrane content lipid bilayer. Yes or no? So it
Yes.
looks like a badminton racket. So inverted badminton racket. Okay. So this is the handle of the racket, and this is the head of the racket. Okay. It is an inverted badminton racket here, and this particular thing is nothing but a cephalin. Okay. So the whole molecules, whole badminton racket is a phospholipid. What variety of phospholipid? This is, suppose, cephalin or cephalin. Now look how it will be formed. Yeah, can you hear me, everybody?
Yes, doctor, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So now just try to understand the thing, how this one badminton racket is formed here. So the handle of the racket here, this is made by this fatty acid tail, okay, or fatty acid handle. The handle of the racket here, it is made by here, the fatty acid, this is the fatty acid. With the fatty acid, there is additions of glycerol. So fatty acids and glycerol, then this is a simple lipid. This part is a simple lipid, yes or no? Because by the definition, fatty acid joined with the glycerol, you are getting a simple lipid. Okay. And with this simple lipid, there's an addition of phosphate. So what is this part? Just follow my pointer. What is this part?
Phospholipid.
With a simple lipid, you are adding a phosphate. So this is a phospholipid, but that is a PA. Have a look at the previous picture. With a simple lipid, you are adding a phosphate. So this is a PA. Clear? And with that PA, have a look my pointer. With that PA, now you are adding a ethanolamine. You are getting a molecules of cephalin. Okay. So with that PA here, this is a molecules of ethanolamine, the bluish shade. So with that, with the molecules of PA, you are adding a molecules of ethanolamine, and now you are getting a molecules of phosphatidyl ethanolamine or cephalin. Am I clear? So with the PA, you are adding a molecules of ethanolamine, you are getting this cephalin or cephalin. Am I clear or not?
Clear, clear, that's what-
Clear. Yes, clear.
Am I clear? So this badminton racket is nothing but a molecules of phospholipid, cephalin. Okay, or it may be a phosphatidylserine. This badminton racket, another badminton racket is nothing but a phosphatidylserine. Okay, have a look here. The same. This part is a PA. With the PA, you are adding. This is a serine. Okay, amino acid. I think you remember the name, serine. You are getting phosphatidylserine. So some badminton racket may be a molecules of cephalin. Some badminton racket may be a molecules of phosphatidylserine. Some badminton racket may be a molecules of lecithin. But yes, all are different varieties of phospholipid. Am I clear? So that lipid bilayer, that badminton racket is mainly made by phospholipid, and some other components are also coming. What is that other component? I will tell you one by one, but the main component of a cell membrane, that is phospholipid. Okay. So this all badminton racket is a molecules of different varieties of phospholipid. Am I clear?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Fine. Now come about glycolipid. So glycolipid, by the names only you are getting your idea. It is a combination. It is a combination of lipid with what? Lipid with carbohydrate. So it is also a complex lipid. Okay, lipid with carbohydrate. So and it is, you are getting mainly some glycolipids are present in the cell membrane, and some glycolipid also present in nervous tissue, particularly in the brain tissues. Okay. Now come, what are the example of glycolipid? Mainly two variety, cerebrocyte and ganglioside. Two varieties of glycolipid, cerebrocyte and gangliosides. Okay. So what is cerebrocyte? By the definition, it is the simplest form of glycolipid. Though it looks very complex, have a look the picture, looks very complex, but it is the simplest form of glycolipid. Now try to understand how these molecules are formed. Okay. Just follow my pointers. What is written here? It is made by ceramide, and with the ceramide, you are adding sugar. Ceramide, what is ceramide? It is a combination of fatty acid with sphingosine. Okay, for your knowledge, this sphingosine is a type of alcohol. Okay, so alcohol is joining with a fatty acid. So this is what then? It is a simple lipid. The ceramide is a simple lipid. Yes or no? Ceramide, it is a simple lipid. Yes or no? Because the ceramide here, it is a combination of sphingosine. This sphingosine is a type of alcohol. Sphingosine, now it is attached with a fatty acid. So this is a simple lipid. Okay, ceramide. Have a look at this picture. So this is a fatty acid. With the fatty acid, the other part, that is sphingosine. So the whole molecule is a ceramide. Am I clear? Yes or no?
Doctor. Yes.
Okay, so are you clear, everybody? So this is a ceramide. Ceramide are made by fatty acid, and the rest of the part is a sphingosine. And sphingosine is nothing but nothing but an alcohol. Okay, so alcohol, they are attached with a fatty acid. So this is a simple lipid. Okay, simple lipid, ceramide. So with the ceramide, now with the simple lipid, now you are adding a sugar. You can see here, it is a molecules of galactose. So this is a molecules of sugar. So simple lipid, you are adding with a sugar. Now it is converting into glycolipid. And this is what type of glycolipid? This is called as a cerebrocyte. So cerebrocyte, by the definition, it is the simplest form of glycolipid. It is made by ceramide. What is ceramide? It is a simple lipid. With the ceramide, you are adding sugar. Now it is converting into glycolipid. Am I clear? Fine. Now this ceramide, this cerebroside, it is either galactocerebroside or glucocerebroside. Okay. How the names are coming? Suppose this sugar unit is a galactose, like this one. You can see this is a galactose. So this cerebroside is now calling as a galactocerebroside. Suppose this sugar unit is a glucose. Now this cerebroside is calling as a glucocerebroside. Am I clear? Everybody, am I clear?
Yes, doctor. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So it is the type of what? The cerebroside. It is a type of glycolipid. Okay. What is glycolipid? The combination of simple lipid with a sugar molecule. That is a glycolipid. Now come to the second variety of glycolipid. This is ganglioside. Okay. So by the definition, it is the most complex variety of glycolipid. You can see the structure, very, very complex, big molecule. So it is the most complex form of glycolipid, and it is mainly found in ganglions of nervous systems. Okay. So have a look this one. It is a ceramide. This shaded portion, it is ceramide. So it is a simple lipid, ceramide. With the ceramide simple lipid, you are adding sugar unit here. Not only sugar unit, you are adding some other unit also, like it can contain the NANA. Okay, this is NANA or N-acetyl neuraminic acid. This is N-acetyl galactosamine. So it is a very, very big molecule, and this is called as a complex form of glycolipid. Okay, the ganglioside. Now, I think it is clear to everybody till now. Gangliosides, so I'm repeating again. The glycolipid combinations of a simple lipid with the sugar, two varieties, cerebroside and ganglioside. Cerebroside is made by ceramide. What is ceramide? This is a simple lipid. With the ceramide, you are adding sugar. When you are adding galactose, that is galactocerebroside. When you are adding glucose, this is glucocerebroside. Okay. Ganglioside is a complex one, and it is a big structure. So it is a simple lipid. With the simple lipid, you are adding sugar here. Not only sugar, you are adding some additional group like N-acetyl galactosamine. You can add the NANA. Okay. So this is about ganglioside. Okay, now come the other variety, that is lipoprotein. What is lipoprotein? So by the definition, it is a combination of lipid with protein. Lipid with protein, that is lipoproteins. Okay. Some different varieties are there, like a chylomicron, or somebody told it as a chylomicron. Okay, so chylomicron, then VLDL, or very low density lipoprotein. You're getting low density lipoprotein or LDL. It may be a high density lipoprotein or HDL. And some free fatty acid albumin complex, but the ABCD, they are the major varieties. Okay. Now come how the lipoprotein look like. So they are looking like a ball. Okay, have a look the picture. So they look like a globular pictures. Okay, it is a globular. So this is a chylomicron. Only 1/4 portions are showing here. It's a very big molecules. Okay, chylomicron. VLDL. This is a VLDL or very low density lipoprotein. It is a LDL or low density lipoprotein. This is HDL or high density lipoprotein. Okay. Now one thing you can notice here. Here the densities are increasing. Density you can see 0.95, 1.05, 1.1.5, 1.2. So densities are gradually increasing, but the size are getting smaller. So is it, you know it in the physics, size are smaller, then it will be more compact one. Okay, densities are going high. So Now come about what is the composition of lipoprotein. So just have a look at this picture. So it has a central core here, central core, and this is called shell. Okay. So just see the color code here, the yellowish color. It is a triacylglycerol. So it contains TG. It contains some cholesterol and cholesterol ester. Okay, and this particular shell, it has a color code here, so it mainly made by protein and phospholipid. So protein and phospholipid, that is covering here, made by protein and phospholipid, and inside you are getting some TG, some cholesterol, some cholesterol ester. Okay, so the same things are written here. So it is composed of neutral lipid core, like a triacylglycerols and cholesterol ester, surrounded by a shell, and that is some proteins, and you are getting phospholipid. Okay, so this is the structure of lipoprotein. Am I clear about structure of lipoprotein? Everybody?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now what are the function of lipoprotein? So it acts as a transport vehicle, like a vehicle, so okay, like a car. For what? For lipid to circulate in the bloodstream. Because you know our blood is a watery medium. They cannot, so lipid cannot mix with the water. Then what is happening? This lipid is now incorporated in a molecules of lipoprotein, and this lipoprotein now can make the transport of a lipid molecule in the circulation. Okay, so this is the main function of lipoprotein. Now come other variety, it is steroid. I think you heard about steroid. So a lot of steroid tablet injections are available. So steroid here. By the definition, so this is a steroid molecule. Okay, I am talking about a common steroid molecule. There are a lot of varieties of steroid are there. So you can see this particular ring, benzene rings are present. Out of that, A, B, and C, this benzene ring, A, B, and C, this is looking like same. This is called phenanthrene nucleus. Okay. D looks like little bit of different. It is called cyclopentane ring. So this is a phenanthrene ring. All are phenanthrene ring. And this is a cyclopentane ring. And the whole ring or the whole molecules here, this is called a very big name, cyclopentanoparhydrophenanthine. Can you pronounce this one, anybody? It is called as a cyclopentanoparhydrophenanthine nucleus. Okay, or in short form, it is called as a CPPP ring, or cyclopentanoparhydrophenanthine ring. So it is a common ring that is present in all type of steroid. Now, what are the different type of steroid? Like a cholesterol, you are getting bile acid, you are getting vitamin D, you are getting some steroid hormone like estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Okay, so all considered as a steroid. But in all steroid, this is a common ring presence in all steroid. Only difference in the side chain. This is all side chain, you know, this is one side chain, this is the other side chain. So this only the difference here in the side chain. The rest of the thing is same for all steroid. Okay, now come another one terminology. This is called amphipathic lipid. So what is amphipathic lipid? By the definition, a lipid in a same molecules of lipid, some portion is hydrophilic and some portion is hydrophobic. So what is the meaning of hydrophilic? Can somebody tell me what is the meaning of hydrophilic?
It's a polar.
Love,
Hydro means water.
Water
hydrophilic,
soluble.
love water. It's opposite to
They
hydro.
love water, right? They just want to join with the water molecules. Okay, that is hydrophilic. And hydrophobic, this part, they don't want to join with the water molecule. Phobia means fear. So fear of water. So In a lipid, one portion is the water loving and another portion is water hating. So this particular portion, this particular molecules is known as the amphipathic molecule. Understand? So in a lipid molecule, some portion is hydrophobic and some portion is hydrophilic, and that particular lipid is called as the amphipathic lipid. Okay, like a phospholipid, fatty acids, okay, sphingolipid, bile salt, cholesterol, all are example of amphipathic lipid. In the phospholipid, some portion is hydrophobic, some portion is hydrophilic. Okay, so these particular things are called as amphipathic lipid. Now this is over. Now come about, so lipid chemistry portion, I told all the thing. Now come about the biological membrane, so cell membrane. So I told you in that particular structure before, it is a lipid bilayer. Okay, it is just an inverted badminton racket that just join together. It is lipid bilayer. Now, it is a basic component of biological membrane. What are the basic component of biological membrane? There are mainly two basic component. Okay, lipid, and you are getting also some little bit portion of protein, but lipid is a maximum. Lipid is maximum, and you get bit of protein also. And some membrane, they also can contain some varieties of carbohydrate. Okay. So what are the basic component? Mainly two, lipid and protein, but some membrane, they also contain some varieties of carbohydrate. So this composition of lipid, proteins and carbohydrate, they varies from one membrane to another. It is not like lipid, okay, 50% lipid, 25% protein, 25% carbohydrate. No, not like that. There is some variation happened in each and every varieties of cell membrane. Okay, so composition of lipid, proteins and carbohydrates, they varies from one membrane to another. It is not a fixed one. So the ratio of lipid to protein is not fixed in most membrane. Okay. Suppose in some membrane, the lipid and protein is 4:1, and some cell membrane, some other type of cell membrane, you can say just the reverse, 1:4. It is not a fixed ratio. Do you understand my point? So the ratio of lipid and protein is not a fixed in most of the cell membranes. Okay. Now come what are the major lipid presence in the cell membrane? So I told you before the phospholipid. Phospholipid is the most common lipid. It is present in any biological or any cell membrane. Now over that, the phospholipid is more common. Then you can get little bit of glycolipid. You can get some cholesterol also. And lipid, they are amphipathic. Lipid in the membrane, they are amphipathic in characters. Okay, because I show you the phospholipid, some portion is hydrophobic, some portion is hydrophilic. So having both hydrophobic and hydrophilic end, I'll show you the picture, it will be more clear. This orientation of this amphipathic compound in the aqueous solution, what is the important? Why these amphipathic molecules are important? Because it's to prevent the hydrophobic resin that coming into contact with the water molecule. Okay, so hydrophobic resins, have a look this, okay, I'll show you the picture later. So what is the importance of this amphipathic lipid? Because it prevents the hydrophobic resin that coming into direct contact with the water molecule. So if it is coming to the water molecule, that can be destroyed. Okay, so it is a nature's gift for this amphipathic lipid. So now come about formation of a lipid bilayer. It is so phospholipids are made of one is a hydrophobic fatty acid chain. Okay, I will come this picture again. Look, here, this is a molecule of, I told you, phospholipid. So this portion Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we
You
can.
understand? Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I am talking about, tell me a little bit yes or no. Otherwise, I cannot understand you are listening or not properly. Okay. So I am talking about the lipid bilayer. Okay. It is a biological membrane and it contains phospholipid. Now, how the phospholipids are present here? So you can see the inside portion. Inside, this is one surface of a membrane. This is the other surface of a membrane. Okay. Now you can see here. Maybe it is outside the cell. This portion is outside the cell, or this portion is inside the cell. This portion is outside the cell. This is the cell membrane. So this part is towards the cell. This part is outside the cell. Okay. So this membrane and the inner side of a membrane, there this portion are hydrophobic in character. You can see here all the orange color. It is a fatty acid actually. They're all present inside the cell membrane. So this is hydrophobic region. In the surface, this one, you are getting a polar head. This is a polar head, okay? This is a charged particle. So this is a hydrophilic region. The blue color region, they are all hydrophilic regions, okay? Because these regions, they want to come with the water molecule. So suppose there are a lot of water molecules here. They want to join with the water molecules, no problem. So this is because this is the hydrophilic region, the blue color, okay? Because they are the polar particles. So it is, you can see it is a negative and positive charge. So negative charge and positive charge, they can easily come and contact with the water molecule. Okay. But this is a non-polar particles inside. Inside it is all non-polar region. It is mainly hydrophobic region, and outside this is hydrophilic regions. Okay. It is mainly a polar particles or the polar head. Am I clear? So inside you are getting the hydrophobic region, and in the surface you are getting a hydrophilic regions. Okay. So this is about the organization of phospholipid in the lipid bilayer. Now come here, how it is written here. Whatever I told it till now, it is written here. So it is a non-polar, it is a tail. Okay. So non-polar, it is a hydrophobic fatty acid chain, and the polar, that is the head or of the badminton racket. The polar portion is the hydrophilic. So I told this is the polar portion, this is hydrophilic, this is the head of the phospholipid, this is the tail of the phospholipid, and they are all hydrophobic in character. So, its stable structure of phospholipid in water is a two-dimensional biomolecular sheet, or it is also called as a lipid bilayer. Okay, and the lipid bilayer, how the phospholipid molecules are oriented. So I told it already. The hydrophobic chain in the interior of the surface, the hydrophilic head that is on the surface of the phospholipid molecules. So each layer of the lipid bilayer is referred to as an inner and outer leaflet. Okay, what are the meaning of inner leaflet and what is the meaning of outer leaflet? Suppose this portion is inside the cell. Okay, so this is a cell membrane. This is inside the cell, the cytoplasm. Just think, this is the cell membrane. This is the outside the cell. Okay. Now this particular phospholipid layer, this is called as an inner leaflet. This particular phospholipid layer, they are calling as the outer leaflet. So it is a lipid bilayer. Two layers are there. Okay, two layers of phospholipid. One is the inner leaflet, and this is outer leaflet of phospholipid. So I think I am clear about the thing.
Yes,
Now
doctor.
come what?
Yes.
Now come what are the types of phospholipid? I already told you in the chemistry of phospholipid. So what are the types of phospholipids you are getting here? For the erythrocyte, just study on the erythrocyte, or erythrocyte, the RBC. Yeah? What are the plasma membranes of RBC content? Look, in the outer leaflet, you are getting mainly the phosphatidylcholine and some sphingomyelin. Okay, sphingomyelin is not a phospholipid, but you are getting some sphingomyelin and mainly the phosphatidylcholine. They are preferably located in the outer leaflet. Okay. Phosphatidyl ethanolamine, I told you already in the chemistry portion, this is nothing but a cephalin, and phosphatidyl serine, you are mainly getting in the inner leaflet. Understand? So have a look the picture again. So in the outer leaflet, you are mainly getting the phosphatidyl, what? Phosphatidyl choline in the outer leaflet. Okay, outer leaflet, you are getting phosphatidyl choline here. In the outer leaflet, these phospholipids are mainly phosphatidyl choline. In the inner leaflet, you are mainly getting the cephalin and phosphatidyl serine. So all are phospholipid, but some prefer to stay in the inner leaflet, some prefer to stay in outer leaflet. Okay, am I clear?
Yes, doctor, clear.
Okay. Now come the force. Some mechanical force, you know, it maintains the integrity of cell membrane. So what are the forces are there? So now number one, the hydrophobic effect. Hydrophobic effect, it is a major driving force for the formations of lipid bilayer. So hydrophobic effect, one of the type of forces here. So the hydrophobic fatty acid chain, it avoid the contact with the water molecules. Obviously, it is hydrophobic in character, so it will avoid to contact with the water molecule. Just think if cell membranes are all hydrophilic, then what will happen? They are always coming and contacting with the water molecule, and they will be easily destroyed. Okay, but this is not happening. Why? Because some portions are hydrophobic. They always repel the water molecules. So water molecule, they cannot come and contact with the cell membrane always. That's why the cell membrane got the stability. Okay, the structure of the cell membrane, it got the stability. Why? Because it always repel the water molecules. Okay. So this particular structure is maintained by the lipid bilayer structure is maintained by multiple non-covalent interactions are also present there. Hydrophobic interaction, okay, hydrophobic driving forces. Some van der Waals forces are also present here between the hydrocarbon chain. Van der Waals forces, you know, it is a weak type of force. It is neither it is a non-covalent or it is neither non-covalent. It is neither hydrophobic interaction. It is a weak type of forces. And some charge interaction and some hydrogen bonding between the polar head group. So all this particular interaction, this maintain this particular structure of a lipid bilayer. Okay, because there is in that particular area, all the interaction are going on one by one by one. All are going on together. And ultimately that particular structure that is maintained. Okay. So it is a driving force that maintained that particular structure of lipid bilayer. Now come about, this is the cell membrane. Looking, it is a structure of cell membrane. You can see here, it is just a three-dimensional figure is putting here. So this yellow color, this is what? The yellow color ball, and you can see here the black color tail. So this is one badminton racket. So this is a phospholipid. Okay. So in the one layer. Other layer, this is also a second molecule of phospholipid. The black color, it is a fatty acid, and here you are getting the head. Okay, so this is a phospholipid. So all the yellowish portion, this is a molecules of phospholipid. So have a look here, what is written. So all the yellowish portion, it is a molecules of phospholipid. Not only phospholipid, you are getting some other lipid also. You can see it is a glycolipid, little bit. Okay, this green color. You are getting some cholesterol also. But the major portion you can get this yellow color. So yellow color is here. It is all are phospholipid molecules. Okay. Not only lipid, you are getting here some carbohydrate also. You can see this violet color. They are all carbohydrate, and you are getting also some little bit of protein also. Okay, so proteins are also different varieties are there. Like some proteins, you can see it is starting from one end, it come to other end. So this is called integral protein, and some peripheral protein. This is peripheral protein only in one side, either inner side or outer side. Okay, but the integral proteins here, it is coming from inner side, it just travel whole cell membrane and coming, it end in the outer side. So proteins are of two variety, integral protein and peripheral protein. Okay, but you can, if you see the cell membrane structure at one glance, then what you can see, the majority of a cell membrane, they are made by phospholipid. Yes or no? The majority of cell membrane, because all the yellowish color, they are all phospholipid. Okay, so majority of any cell membrane here, they are mainly present here by phospholipid. But maximum cell membrane I am talking. But in some cell membrane, maybe protein will be more, lipid will be less. Okay, but here the majority of cell membrane, you are getting more lipid. Now come here, whatever I told you till now, it is written here. So what are now different types of protein? Mainly two type, integral and peripheral. Okay, so this is the integral protein. It travel the whole length of the membrane. Peripheral just in one portion, either in the inner portion or outer portions. Okay, so integrals and peripheral membrane protein. So integral membrane proteins, they are tightly associated with this hydrophobic core of the lipid bilayer. It is tightly joined. You cannot make it separate very easily. And transmembrane protein, it is also an integral protein that is exposed to the both sides of the membrane. So it just crossed the whole membrane wide. Okay, it just crossed the whole membrane. So it is called as a transmembrane protein. So transmembrane protein is a type of integral proteins. Can you understand? Are you understanding?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor.
Okay.
Yes,
So
doctor.
integral protein, it can be removed from the membrane only with organic solvent or detergent. So integral protein is very difficult to separate from cell membrane. Why? Because that is tightly packed with the whole structure of the cell membrane. Okay, it is very difficult. Only if you can put in some organic solvent, or you can just destroy the cell membrane, then only you can make it separate. It is very difficult to separate. So I am showing you again. So this is the integral protein, okay, and it is also called as a transmembrane protein because it just traverses the whole length of the membrane. This is cell membrane. You can see this is the width of the cell membrane, and it traverses the whole length of whole width of the cell membrane. Okay, so it is a integral protein here, or transmembrane protein. Now come peripheral proteins here. So it is just a loosely bound. It is not very tight. It is just loosely bound here, and you can make it remove very easily because they are very loosely bound with the cell membrane. Okay, so you can remove it very easily either by washing of the membrane with a solution of high ionic strength. If you just wash the membrane, you can make it remove. But the integral membrane, you cannot make remove. So for removing, you have to destroy the cell membrane. Then only you can make it remove. Okay. The same thing here written. So high ionic strength disrupt the non-covalent ionic and hydrogen bonding holding the protein on the surface of the membrane. So it is easy to remove. Fine. So I am just talking again this one. So here I told the majority here you can see it is a phospholipid. Some portions you are getting protein. Protein is of two character, two variety. One is the integral protein and the peripheral protein. And the lipid, mainly phospholipid, you are getting some glycolipid here. You are getting some cholesterol also you are getting here. You are getting some carbohydrate. And even you are getting here some globular proteins. Okay, leave it. And you are getting some glycoproteins. Okay. So this is the composition of cell membrane. All are written here. Now tell me, you understand the whole thing? It is
Yes,
excellent.
doctor.
Plus.
Yes.
So I
So
think
it was really,
I
really simple.
Pardon? Okay, I'm just.
It was really simple. Thank you.
Yeah, so I make it simple, man. Just if you go to library and if you just see some books, you will understand how difficult it is. But I try my best to make it very simple for you. But now it is your duty to read it. Okay. I think it is not a big thing to make it properly. You can do it. I believe you can do it. Okay. So then I complete the lipid today. And then, yes, next week, I think we have a holiday, na? Next week. Next week,
Yes.
Thursday
Yes.
is a
National
holiday.
holiday.
National
Day.
Day is holiday. So Thursday, we cannot take then. Anyhow, so leave the next week. Then after that week, we'll meet on Thursday. But if we have some shortage of lectures, shortage of time, then we can arrange later. But hopefully we will not shortage. We are in a good space. I am finishing one topics in one day. Okay, and hopefully you can do it. And anybody have any problem, then you can just take the problematic area. Just take the picture of a problematic area and make me WhatsApp. Okay, just mention you are a RTPT student. And this is my problem, doctor. Kindly explain. I will give you an answer.
Doctor,
Yes.
should we focus on the structures or just the names?
No. Structure not needed. I told you from beginning. I put all structure to make you understand. Okay. Structure is not important. Structure is only for your understanding purpose.
Yes. Thank you.
So anybody have any question now? Somebody want to chat with me? No chatting. No chatting here, no question, I think. So can I then leave? All of you present, how many you are? Total, I am getting 84 participants. So one thing, please, I am telling you, just when you enter in Zoom, don't leave and exit and re-entry. Don't do like that, okay? Because if you exit and re-entry, then what is happening? Your attendance are coming twice, thrice, 4 times. That things are happening. So if you enter in the morning, don't exit, okay? Then I will get single attendance. Otherwise, one has a multiple attendance. That things are happening. Okay, so all leaders are present. Ramal,
Yes,
Priti,
doctor.
you are here. Okay. Five, now what is his name? RT leader. RT leader, male. Okay. So you are leaders, huh? You should presence always. Huh? Don't leave your classmates. Fine. So then should I leave now?
Yes.
What is the timing?
Thank you, doctor.
Okay, 11:20. But I complete. So then, thank you very much, all of you. So I am leaving, and then hopefully you can do it. Any problem you can ask.
See you, doctor.
Okay. So then we'll meet next week, and wish you all a happy, very happy your National Day in advance. Enjoy a little bit, but not fully. Okay. Thank you very much, all of you. See you then.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay.
Bye.